Welcome to the Smyers and Chambers podcast, and the Celtics are moving on to the second round of the NBA playoffs. They will be playing the New York Knicks. The Knicks won last night in a thriller where Jalen Brunson snapped Asar Thompson's ankles in the final seconds, sending the Knicks to the second round. The Celtics won Game 5. We left off on Game 4 the last time I was on this podcast. They finally broke the dam offensively, winning 120-89. Jason Tatum dominating with 35 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. The difference in this game, the Celtics started out very slow. They weren't playing great basketball. The only guy that was playing decent, or at least putting up decent stats, was Jason Tatum. And the Magic did a good job. And you can credit the Magic in the first half, but they did an okay job. The Magic came out in the second half, continued to play well. But then Paulo Banchero picked up 3 fouls in the first, 2.5 minutes of the third quarter, leading to uh, him having 5 fouls in this game, where they had to rest him, or not rest him, but pull him out for the rest of that quarter. And that was the difference. Jason Tatum dominated with that Paulo Banchero out there. He actually tied a Celtic playoff record, for having 3 straight 35-plus point games in the playoffs. The only person to ever do that, other than Jason Tatum just now, is Larry Bird. And obviously, if you've done something that only Larry Bird has done, that's pretty. You're a pretty good player, probably. Celtics dominated the third quarter. I believe they won the quarter 36-13, something like that. 36-13. They won the fourth quarter 37-27. Finally, in the fourth quarter, they decided to make some changes. Don't let Tatum get to the paint. It was like late third quarter to fourth quarter. Don't let him get to the paint. Don't let him play one-on-one. Let's try doing that. Maybe if we nope, that doesn't work. They hit a bunch of threes in the second half. They made 13 in the second half. They had 0 in the first half. The first time in a very long time, especially this season, they haven't had 0 3-pointers made in the first half. They had 2 long twos that Al Horford shot where his foot was on the line. That might as well have been threes if he could just move his lead foot an inch back. But yeah, the Celtics survived the Magic. They beat them in 5 games, and it was really fun series. Honestly, you could say that was more fun than half the series is last year, or maybe over half. I mean, you could argue that the finals was kind of boring, despite winning a championship at the end. But so Celtics will play the Knicks in the second round. Game 1 is on Monday, and I'll preview that series a little bit. So the Knicks' weaknesses against the Celtics. Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, they can't really defend. They're not good at defense. Uh, Tatum has had great success against those two, particularly on the court. He's averaged 33, 6 and 6 against the Knicks this season in a 4-game sample size where they won every single game. Really, only one of those being close, another one kind of being a rock fight, but it was still a double-digit win. Uh, so the Knicks also, Josh Hart isn't a great 3-point shooter. That's probably who Porzingis will be guarding. He'll be standing in the paint. Tatum can guard Karl Anthony Towns, or they'll put Drew Holiday on him if he's ready to go to start the series. Jaylen Brown will guard Jalen Brunson, which means we have multiple guys to guard Jalen Brunson. Derek White is a great defender as well. Also, he'll probably take on Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby. Tatum has dominated OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. So the Knicks shouldn't stand a chance. This has the potential to be an easier playoff series than the Orlando Magic series, which is kind of weird to say because the Knicks are a 3 seed, the Magic are the 7 seed. But during the short period of time, the first 2 months of the season, or 2.5 months, I'd say, where the Magic were healthy, they actually competed, or they actually had a better record than the New York Knicks. Let me turn up my mic volume. But yeah, you could argue that the Magic are better than the Knicks because this group just doesn't exactly work. So, how could the Knicks beat the Celtics? Well, it'd have to be honestly, if we're accounting just the easy way out for the Knicks to win and move on to the conference finals. They need an injury, but that's kind of a cop out. So let's not talk about that because, you know, like it's more fun to talk how they can beat us like just straight up. And they need Jalen Brunson to go crazy. They need Karl Anthony Towns to never be in foul trouble and to go crazy. They need to play elite level defense. But Caleb Bridges and OG Anunoby Ashley has to do a good job this series on the defensive end against Tatum and Brown. And they need their bench, which is consists of Campaign, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, to outplay Pritchard, Cornette, Hauser, Horford consistently every single night. And that'll probably not happen. The Celtics are going to the Eastern Conference Finals after this series. I'd bet a lot of money on it if you're listening to this. And, you know, this is going to be a good series though from a Celtics standpoint. Finally, the last like 3 years, it felt like the Celtics were always going to come across the Knicks in the playoffs. They'd come off one playoff series short, so the Knicks would always lose the series before they play the Celtics. The last 3 years would be 2023, the Cavs, 2024, the Pacers. Now they're finally here, third year. Finally, we got Celtics Knicks, the two gardens, TD Garden, Madison Square Garden. Finally the clash of the gardens. This is gonna be some intense fan battles. And, you know, fan on fan crime, like fan versus fan base, that's fun. That's been missing from today's sports, I feel like. I feel like you'll get some of that like 12-year-old Twitter stuff, but like I'm talking like face to face at a game, like continue like not just on like Twitter or Instagram, like everywhere on social media. That would be really fun. And yeah, Knicks Celtics. Let's go around the NBA. See what happened because some series got wrapped up, like Lakers and Timberwolves. This series was pretty disappointing. I had if you pay attention to these podcasts, I had the Lakers going to the finals, and because I'm a big believer in Luka Doncic carrying his team through the West and then not being in shape enough to get himself over the hump in the finals at this point of his career and the shape he's in. I was wrong. Wolves 1-5. Anthony Edwards didn't have a good closeout game, but they still closed it out somehow. JJ Redick is for some reason receiving so much flack for playing his like so JJ Redick, people know him. He was a broadcaster after his NBA career. Very good NBA career. He's a great 3-point shooter. And he was one of the best broadcasters there. And then he got the Lakers job, head coaching job. And now all of his like coworkers when he was on the broadcast stuff for a few years is like just like shitting on him. It feels ridiculous. They're shitting on him for playing his best players too many minutes. Like this roster isn't good. It's Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and that's about it. Rui Hachimura is a great role player. That's it. You should be playing Luka and LeBron 40 plus minutes every game if you want to win a championship. That's just how it is. And they'll make this roster a little better. LeBron is going to come back. LeBron's probably going to look the same as he did this year. Maybe knock off a few more minutes from him. But I don't know how you get flack for playing your best players a lot of minutes. Like Joe Mazzulla got no flack for playing Tatum 45 minutes in a regular season game against the Lakers to end the season. They won that game, so you can't get any flack for it. But yeah, it's I don't know. The NBA conversations around the talking heads isn't good. I think it's part of the reason why this viewership is going down. I don't know. We'll see though. With the Timberwolves moving on, the Lakers' future is very interesting. It looks like they might have to make a trade for a center. I don't think you want Jackson Hayes starting at that spot for next season. But yeah, let's move on to another series. Warriors Rockets tonight. Rockets taking game 5 and extending the series to game 6 back in Golden State. The Warriors look terrible. They looked like they packed it in and they're ready for game 6 probably to go move on at home and go play the Timberwolves, who are awaiting them. A 6-7 matchup. That's funny. In the second round, 6-7 seed matchup. And Amen Thompson, the other twin, really good in this game. Amen Thompson was very good. I feel like Sengun was also really good. He's been good in this series. I don't know why people have been saying he's bad. I know he's been not shooting the ball well, but he's been. I feel like he's been there. It's his first playoff run, so for his first playoff series, I think he's putting up a pretty good outing for being the best player against a dynasty of players on that team. And that was kind of just Steph and Draymond, and Kayvon Looney won in 2022. But like it's not easy to try to compete with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. They're pretty good at basketball. But Rockets should probably lose tonight to the Warriors. Warriors will most likely move on. I believe that's the last game of the first round. No, actually, there's game 7. Denver Nuggets and the LA Clippers. That game will be tomorrow. First game 7 of the playoffs in a series that's been very good with good players. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Obviously, James Harden isn't what he used to be, but he's been pretty close to it in this series, to be honest. And then there's Jamal Murray, who's pretty good. And then there's Nikola Jokic, who's the best player in the NBA. And should win MVP this year. He'll probably go to Shea, though, because of voter fatigue. But this series is the forgotten 7-game series of the first round. It's the 4-5 seed, 2 teams that won't make it to the finals, that aren't real competitors, that are going to run into the best team in the league next series that's been waiting for them for like a week now. It's game 7, which is cool, good for the sport, but this doesn't really matter. I have the Nuggets winning. Obviously, they're just the home team. I feel like it's a coin flip at this point. But yeah, I'd be surprised if Kawhi and Harden pull this off. I don't know. I just feel like the Nuggets are gonna win it. I feel like Harden, Kawhi, Kawhi had the 2 years, the 2 Finals MVPs, the crazy run with the Toronto Raptors. I feel like Clippers Kawhi always disappoints. James Harden always disappoints in the playoffs. Nikola Jokic, we don't really know, but he won the championship, won the Finals MVP, 3-time MVP. I have the Nuggets in 7. All right. I don't know. There's not a whole lot. There's been a lot of good games, like in the Nuggets Clippers series. Go back to that, even though we just talked to it, so we're not really going back. We're just continuing it. But game 4 in LA, that Jokic air ball at the buzzer that led to an Aaron Gordon dunk. That was cool. That was really cool. That's the first time in NBA history where there's been a buzzer-beating dunk to win the game. That was insane. Aaron Gordon's also should have been the slam dunk champion in 2016. But we'll not talk about that. But that shows you how cool that is for him to win a game off of a buzzer-beating dunk. Let's see what else is going on. You go back to Celtics Knicks or potential. Oh, we could talk about Cavs Pacers. Cavs Pacers is gonna be a good series. I have the Pacers in 6. I have the Pacers with the upset. I think the Cavs are a regular season team, like I said multiple times in this podcast, and I have the Pacers going to the conference finals in my original picks before the playoffs. And I think Tyrese Halliburton and Andrew Nembhard are going to cause problems on the defensive end for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. I think DeAndre Hunter is definitely going to help the Cavs, though, in this series because he applies more or gives more shooting and scoring for the Cleveland Cavaliers to keep up with this high-powered Indiana offense. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting series. I'm interested now. Miles Turner can take on, and Siakam can take on Evan Mobley and Jared Allen defensively with their size and their athleticism. So it'll be fun. Especially it feels like it's much more higher stakes than last year. When we were in the semi-conference finals last year, from a Celtics standpoint, we were the 1 seed, so we knew where we were going for the game 1 of the conference finals. The other side, well, we were playing the Cavs in the second round. They were playing. The other side was Pacers, Knicks, but and the winner of that obviously would go to Boston. But this year, it's like, Pacers win, you're home in Boston for the conference finals. Cavs win, you're going to Cleveland. That'll be the first road series in the playoffs for the Celtics since the 2022 NBA Finals. So that's kind of a big deal. They've been home in the playoff series every single year since then. Shows you how dominant they've been in the regular season. But it would be kind of fun to play on the road for a playoff series. It'd be not as stressful because we know this team can win on the road. They almost tied they had one of the best road records in NBA history throughout the regular season. And last year in the NBA playoffs, they won every single road playoff game until their final road playoff game, and they're already up 3-0. And if you don't know, if a team's up 3-0 in an NBA playoff series, the series is over. Every team that's gone up in 3-0 in NBA history playoffs has won the series every single time. But yeah, that's all I got. This will be the last podcast, most likely, unless me and Chambers decide to do StreamYard throughout summer break. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope I got